Let me ask you something. I want you to really sit with this question before you answer it. You have the same degree as the consultant your company just hired, or the coach you enrolled in his program. You might have more years of experience than he does. You know the industry better than he does. You know your company better than he does. So why is he walking out of the building with a check for $15,000 and you're walking out with a payslip that hasn't changed in years? That question used to bother me too. For a long time, I thought the answer was connections or credentials or some kind of exclusive club that people like me just weren't supposed to be in. But the real answer is actually simpler than that. And once you see it, you will never unsee it. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why this gap exists. And more importantly, what's on the other side of it for you. My name is Richard Olowo and I coach corporate professionals to turn the skills they already use at work into consulting and coaching offers that pay them without them quitting their jobs. But I have to be honest with you about where I started. Back in 2013, I was a university student here in my country, Uganda, studying statistics of all things. And I attended a business breakfast that featured the late Dr. Miles Monroe. The ticket cost 150,000 Ugandan shillings then, about $100. And I was the only student there who paid it. My classmates thought I was crazy. Why? Because you're a student, Richard. That money is for professionals. $100 for a 2-hour event is for professionals. But Dr. Monroe said something that day that I wrote down and never forgot. He said, the wealthiest places in the world are not the oil fields of the Middle East or the gold mines of South Africa. The wealthiest place in the world is the cemetery. Because buried there are inventions never invented, businesses never built, books never written, songs never sung. And I thought to myself, am I burying what's inside me? Am I carrying value the world needs and just not packaging it? That question followed me through years of try and error. Started leadership training, financial coaching. I built a telemedicine company called NetDoc across 4 African countries now until I finally figured out the formula. And that formula, it all starts with understanding one thing about why consultants earn what they earn. Here's what I discovered after coaching hundreds of corporate professionals. The reason most employees never cross into consulting or coaching isn't skill, it isn't experience, it isn't even time. It's 3 invisible traps, and I'm betting at least one of them has you right now. Let's get into it. Trap number 1, the access illusion. The first trap is what I call the access illusion. It's the belief that consulting is for other people. You know that consultant your company brings in, the one everyone treats like royalty. Half the time, a senior employee recommended him. Somebody voted for him. And now, he's the expert. Meanwhile, you have been the expert in your building for the last 8 years. And nobody's cut you a consulting check yet. Why? Because you've never positioned yourself as the expert outside your building. Consulting isn't an exclusive club. It's a positioning decision. But most employees are waiting for somebody to give them permission to make that happen. Trap number 2, the time trap. Yes, trap number 2, the time trap. Richard, you say, I would love to build something on the side, but I am already stretched at work. I have a family. I don't have 5 hours a day to start a business. I hear this all the time. And here's what I want to say to the person who said that. You're absolutely right. You don't have 5 hours a day, and you don't need 5 hours a day. The 2-phase offer builder I teach is specifically built for busy professionals, people who are doing important work Monday to Friday and need a system that works in the margin. We are talking about 5 to 10 focused hours a week. That's it. Not a second job, a strategic second income. This brings me to trap number 3, the expert illusion. Well, this is a huge one, and this one is sneaky. It's the belief that what you know isn't special enough. that somehow the stuff you do every single day, the problems you solve in your sleep, isn't worth what a consultant charges. You know what Tony Stark would say to that? I am Iron Man. He didn't question whether his skills were valuable. He packaged them, branded them, and showed the world what they could do. Your expertise is your arc reactor. Most people are walking around with one and don't even know it's there. All right, so here's the truth about why consultants get paid more than employees, and has nothing to do with who they know. It comes down to one word: packaging. Packaging. Here's what I mean. When you're an employee, your company owns the package. They take your skill, your 10 years, 15, 20 years of expertise, and they put it inside a role. They give it a job title. They give it a salary band. And that salary band has a ceiling. When you become a consultant, you own the packaging. You take the exact same skill and you define what problem it solves, who it solves it for, and how much it costs to access it. See, this is the difference between water in a pipe and water in a bottle. Same water, one gets piped to you for almost nothing. One sells for $4 at a restaurant because it's packaged, branded, and positioned as premium. So you are Renzori water if you're in Uganda. But most professionals are just stuck in the pipe. So how do you get out of the pipe? That is the question. This is where the two phases of a builder comes in. Phase one is extraction. Yes, phase one is extraction. This is where you go into your own job, your daily work, your recurring problems, your signature approaches, and you pull out that intellectual property that's already there. Yes, pull out the IP. See, most professionals skip this step. Why, coach? Because they don't think what they do is packageable. But here's the truth. If you have been solving the same type of problem for more than 3 years, you have a consulting framework. You have a coaching framework. You just haven't named it yet. One of my clients, she's a CPA and director of finance, who came to me through my King's Court premium coaching. She had 18 years of experience managing donor-funded portfolios across international NGOs. She knew her stuff inside out. She's brilliant, but she kept saying, Richard, who is going to pay me for what I already know? Can you believe? So guess what? Phase one answered that question. We extracted the thing she had been doing quietly for nearly 2 decades, helping organizations get their financial reporting board ready and donor ready. We named it, we scooped it, and we built it into her very first offer. And this brings me to phase two, packaging. This is where you take what you extracted in phase one and you structure it into a deliverable, something a client can buy, consume, and get a measurable result from. Not a vague consulting engagement, but a specific offer with a specific outcome for a specific type of client. Think about how differently a client feels when you say this. One, I help businesses with finances, versus I help non-profit leaders fix what's blocking clean, board-ready financial reporting so they stop losing donor trust and start winning funding. The second version, that's my actual client's offer. And that specificity is why people pay premium for consulting. They are not paying for your time. They are buying the certainty of a specific result. This is huge. I want to say that again because it's the most important sentence in this video. Clients don't pay consultants for their time. They pay them for the certainty of a specific outcome. And that certainty, it comes from your years in the field. It comes from the problem you have already solved. Not theoretical ones, the real ones. Let me tell you about my other client, Catherine Wahome. Catherine is an insurance executive. She holds the FCII. That's the highest professional insurance qualification you can earn from the Chartered Insurance Institute in the United Kingdom. She has a master's degree in organizational risk management. She is, by any measure, deeply qualified. She's also the co-founder and president of the Africa Insurance Women Association. But when Catherine came into King's Court, my premium program, she told me something that I hear from almost every high-performing professional who walks through that door. She said, Richard, I have been giving away my best thinking for free in meetings and boardrooms for like 20 years now. I am done giving it away. I said, congratulations. So we ran her through the two phases of a builder. Phase one, extraction, revealed that what she has been doing quietly for 2 decades was building leadership capacity inside insurance companies. So that was her IP. That was her lane. Phase two, packaging, turned that into a crisp, specific offer, the Insurance Leadership Accelerator. Not consulting on insurance, not helping companies with leadership, a named, scoped premium position program for a specific kind of client with a specific kind of problem. And the same process that built Catherine's offer also built Ruth Wangui, a CPA and human resource manager at one of the government institutions. Build an authentic consulting practice around helping burned out corporate professionals find work that aligns to their true self. And what about Catherine Ochako, a former head of technology who, after losing her job, built a transformational coaching offer helping women rise from crisis to clarity using her comeback code? See, these are not business gurus. These are professionals with jobs, with families, with real lives. And they packaged what they already knew and people paid for it. So remember at the start of this video, I asked you, why is that consultant walking out with $15,000 and you're walking out with a paycheck? Now here's your answer. He doesn't have more experience than you. He doesn't have better credentials than you. He's not smarter than you. He has a packaged offer. You have a job description. He defined the problem, scooped the solution, and named his price. You accepted the problem, performed the solution, and you are assigned a price. That's it. That's the entire gap there for you. And here's what nobody tells you. The gap is closable. Yes, that gap is closable. And you don't need to quit your job. You don't need to build a massive audience. You don't need to rebrand your whole life. You need phase one and phase two. Phase one is extraction, then packaging. That's it. That's it. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, Richard, I think I have something here. I just don't know how to extract it and package it properly. That's exactly why I build my live Tuesday evening workshop. We walk you through the two phases of a builder together. I help you identify your sellable skill, scoop your first consulting offer, and position it so that the right client understands immediately why they should pay you and how much. The link is in the description below. And before you click away, if this video gave you a new way of seeing what you carry, do me one favor. Share it with a colleague who is overqualified and underpaid because they need to hear this. And guess what? If you haven't subscribed, you need to subscribe now because I share this kind of content every day. And if you haven't liked this video, why not give it a like? And I will see you in the next one.